What's up, fragrant world? Welcome back to another Stay Fresh production. And today I'm bringing you an updated cheapie list. We're talking about my favorite fragrances for less than $50. Now, I did as much sourcing as I could. A lot of these prices I found on fragrancenet.com, which usually has the best pricing in regards to the discount market of fragrances, but obviously there's plenty of places to shop and you might even find them cheaper, but I'm pretty sure I found some of the best prices for these fragrances that I put on this list. And these fragrances are ordered basically in ranking of value for the price. I try to cater this more towards you and your wallet, less towards my taste, but my taste is involved in this list too. Some of the fragrances might be in the spot that they're in simply because I like them a lot. But I did have to be realistic and put some of them lower for various reasons. And you'll see with the number 10 spot, which is going to be blasphemy, but don't take it personally. Here at number 10, I absolutely love this fragrance. The only reason why it's here is because I don't know how long it will be available, because it's been discontinued. So I don't know for how much longer you'll be able to find this and pick it up for a good price. But this is one of the best values on this list at the moment. Honestly, it could have been in the top 3, but again, who knows when it'll disappear. We're talking about L'Homme Ideal Cologne from Guerlain. I love this stuff. You're gonna see a lot more of this as we start moving into the spring and the summer. Man, I can't wait to wear this. You can see I got a small little dent in there, and we're gonna add to it this upcoming warm season. Now let me check my notes here. Currently you can find this size, the 50 milliliter size, for less than $30 in general, which is really good. And you can even find the 100 milliliter size for less than $40. So it's a great value. But again, it's at your own risk. If you're gonna get it, scoop it up now. Otherwise, who knows what you have to pay to get your hands on this. That's L'Homme Ideal Cologne. Up next, this is a clone. The fragrance that it's cloning is wonderful. One of my favorites. One I've contemplated reacquiring. Maybe I will someday. But this one really does the job, and for a fraction of the cost. From the house of Federico Mahora, this is $452, pure $452, okay? This is a clone of Chanel Allure Sport Eau Extreme. And they nailed it with this. In terms of the scent, the quality, and the performance. It's all here, and you can find this fragrance for less than $25. Which is incredible. That's for 50 milliliters. Wonderful price for the value. Now, the reason why it's so low is because currently, I believe this fragrance is only produced in Poland. So it's a little bit difficult for some other parts of the world, namely like the US, to get your hands on this. You have to go through Fragrance Freaks, which is one of the distributors for this brand, and you have to contact them on Instagram. At the moment, I'm trying to figure out if they can be contacted some other way. So I'm gonna reach out to them and see if there's another way that you can contact them in order to get your hands on this. But if you can get your hands on it, it's wonderful. But again, distribution's a little limited, but great scent. All right, here at number 8, from the house of Alexandria Fragrances. This is not a clone. This is one of their original creations. Hafez 1984 Intense, a fantastic scent for the price. It's so luxurious, and it's an extrait de parfum, so it has fantastic performance. It's gonna sit close to the skin, but it's gonna leave a scent trail as you walk, and it's gonna last for a long time. I think there's oud in here. I think there's maybe some tobacco, maybe even some coffee and some vanilla. It's a deep and rich, it's sweet, it's woody and dark, very, very elegant. And the reason why this is at number 8 is because it is under 50 bucks. You can find it for about $45, but that's for a 30 milliliter size. So you're not getting a whole lot for the money, but again, this is an extrait de parfum. It's very concentrated. You're looking at least 20% fragrance oils. So again, that is what attributes to its fantastic performance. So you do get your money's worth. but there might be some better values out there. But for now, this is great. Number 8, Hafez 1984 Intense. Coming in at number 7, this is from the house of Dolce & Gabbana. We're talking about light blue Eau Intense, Pour Homme. I messed that whole name up, but you get the idea. This is a fantastic aquatic scent. I cannot wait to wear this as it warms up. It's a marine, salty fragrance with citrus, but it does have this kind of fruity, playful sweetness in there, which is really nice. I honestly haven't worn it that much since I bought it because I got it as it was getting cold. So cannot wait to wear this more. And the reason why this is in the lower part of the list is because this is a 50 milliliter bottle, which if I check my notes, you can get this for about $40 roughly, maybe even a little bit less. But it's very tough to find a 100 milliliter bottle for less than $50. You're probably gonna pay more than $50 unless you're going through eBay, which, you know, I try to stay away from. But again, for 50 mils, not a bad price, and it's a great scent and a great fresh scent with great performance, something you don't see often. That's Light Blue Intense. Okay, so this one could have been interchanged with the Dolce & Gabbana, but the value for the pricing is a little bit better on this, in my opinion. From the house of Calvin Klein, we have Euphoria Intense. This one is highly slept on. This is a fantastic amber-based scent, but it's aromatic with some lavender. It's sweet. There might be tonka bean or vanilla. I can't quite remember. Nothing super special, but a really pleasant, sweet and fresh scent that has some body to it, and something that does have a little bit of elegance if you wear it in the nighttime. It's kind of a great all year round scent, even though it is on the sweeter side because it's not all that strong, but it actually does last a decent while on the skin. And great pricing on this. You're gonna find this 50 milliliter size, most likely for less than $30, which is great. And I think 100 milliliters will go for less than $35. You pay $5 more, you get twice as much fragrance, which is cool. Great value for the money. This is a great one to have. Something you can wear all the time, just about any occasion if you're looking for something sweet. That's Euphoria Intense. All right, from the house of Guerlain, once again, from their Aqua Allegoria line, this is Herba Fresca. Beautiful scent for the upcoming warm weather. And man, this is a mint-based scent. It's quite herbal, as the name would suggest. It's a very authentic herbal mint. It's very green, but it's so minty. Some people say it kind of smells like gum. I get that vibe, but there's more to it than that, especially as it dries. When you first spray it on, you're gonna get like an herbal gum kind of smell, which is not unpleasant, but if that association is too strong for you, it might throw you off with this one. But it dries down into a little bit more. There's some florals in there, I think. Fantastic scent. And this is one that you get a lot for the price. I think this is a 125 milliliter bottle. You can find these, let me check my notes here. You can find these for about less than $50, just under $50 for a tester, 125 milliliters. This one I have is not a tester. I paid a little bit more for it, but you can find them out there. But you can even find a smaller size, the 75 milliliter size, for less than $45. So still a good price for a lot of fragrance, which is good because this one does not last long, so you'll have to reapply. And I think that's what they're going for here. They give you a big bottle for less money so you can spray more and smell great. That is Herba Fresca. All right, next up here, this fragrance is one of the ones that is in the spot that it's in, mostly because I love the scent, but also it does fit the criteria. You can find it for less than $50. The value may not be quite as good in terms of price per milliliter compared to some of the other scents, but still a great scent. And one I'm gonna try to squeeze a little bit more wearing out before it gets too warm. From the house of Azzaro, we got Wanted by Night. And this is one of my favorite discoveries of last year. I got to it pretty late. Awesome scent. Very crowd pleasing, nothing for the niche snob, nothing that's gonna have a whole lot of, you know, interest and development and just uniqueness. Not really at all, but super pleasant, very interesting, gets people's attention. It's sweet, very sweet, tobacco, cinnamon. It has a freshness, might even be lavender in here. And the cumin note is one of my favorite parts, which is kind of a make or break for some people. But for me, I love it. As it dries, it gets this kind of like rough, earthy texture to the scent that just kind of makes it, I don't know, just very sensual. I love it. Really, really good stuff. And again, for the value, in terms of pricing, you're not going to get the greatest pricing on this. You can find a 100 milliliter size of this for less than 50 bucks, just under $50, which is good. Again, it makes the list for that reason. For some reason, it's hard to find a 50 milliliter size. A lot of places seem to be sold out of it, or they just have 100 or 200 milliliter sizes. If you can find it, then you'll definitely find it for much under 50 bucks. It'll obviously be less than the 100 milliliter size, but it's kind of hard to find. I got this from Fragrance Net a while back. They don't seem to have it at the moment. So it'll pop up here and there. If you can find it, scoop it up. It might be over $40, I would imagine. So again, not the best pricing compared to some of the other scents, but still a fantastic scent, great performance. Azzaro Wanted by Night. Okay, this one, next one, this is one of my favorites. You guys have seen this one on my lists all the time. This is on here for a similar reason that Herba Fresca is here. You get a lot of juice for the price, so great value. This is John Varvatos Vintage, and as with all of these fragrances from the house, they're all relatively inexpensive. You can find a 75 milliliter bottle for less than 35 bucks. No branded, that's awesome. This is the 125 milliliter bottle, which you don't really need, but if you wanted to get it, I'm checking my notes here, you can find it for less than $40. And that's a good size. There might even be tester bottles that are even less than that if you're looking for it, if you don't care about the cap, that is. So again, similar to Herba Fresca, great quality and quantity for the price, and the performance is better than the Guerlain for me. Some people complain about it, but I get just fine, 6-7 hours, maybe more. That is Vintage, one of my favorite scents. If you want to know more about it, check out my review. I do my best to explain the scent in depth, so check that out if you haven't already. All right, so this next fragrance and number one, these were neck and neck. They could have gone either way, both great value, but for a specific reason, this one is number two, even though I love the scent. But number one is a new one to my collection, which is really blowing me away. But here at number two, Tommy For Men, a classic, 1990s classic, still great today. In a way, it smells nostalgic if you grew up in the 1990s or if you spent time just with fragrances at that time. But it does not smell dated, if that makes any sense. It still smells modern. It smells like a modern, fresh fragrance, clean. There's mint, apple, lavender, some woodiness, some cactus, apparently great scent. And currently, this is a 100 milliliter bottle. You can find this for less than 30 bucks. That's a great value, 100 milliliters, less than 30 bucks. They actually do have a 30 milliliter size of this, which is awesome. I've seen it for as low as like $15, but it's hard to find. If you can find it, again, like 15 bucks, but it's difficult to find this being sold by reputable sellers. If you can find it, go ahead, scoop it up. There's a lot of fakes out there, believe it or not, but I would just say go for the 100 milliliter size, honestly. It's a great size. The performance is okay, not the best, but not the worst. And it's good to have more juice because you can reapply in this case. And again, less than 30 bucks, can't go wrong. Tommy For Men. All right, so here at number one, the reason why this one is number one over Tommy, you can get a 30 milliliter size of this for less than $25. Okay, and the 30 milliliter size is way more readily available and accessible than it is for Tommy. That's what kind of bumped it up a little bit, because you have more size options. If you're looking for a smaller size because you want to pay less for it, then it's easier to find. If you did want a 100 milliliter tester, I've seen it for less than $30, which is again comparable to the Tommy Hilfiger For Men. But again, having that 30 milliliter size, even a 50 milliliter size as well, allows you to pay a little bit less, and it's easy to find. So I had to bump it to number one. Here at number one, a classic, nothing new, but something I was late to the game with. I'm happy I finally got it. Burberry, Touch For Men. I'm still getting to know the scent. I've literally worn this like 5 times in the last 3 days, which is very unusual for me. This is a wonderful violet leaf based scent. If you've smelled fragrances like Narciso Rodriguez For Him, if you've smelled Dior Fahrenheit, you get that vibe. But this violet leaf is kind of more on the aqueous, almost powdery side of things. It's very fresh. It's nowhere near as like concrete-like as the Narciso Rodriguez. It's nowhere near as petrol-like as the Dior, maybe somewhere in the middle. It's fresh, it's sweet. I've seen Big Beard Business talk about this one a lot. I've seen Bowtie Fragrance Guy, Darian, talk about this a lot. And I knew it was for a reason, but I'm like, I'll get around to it. Man, this stuff is great. This is good stuff. It lasts a good while on my skin. Again, I've worn it so much in the past several days. I would spray it on in the morning, and then I would spray it again in the afternoon, and I would spray it again at night. This is nice. Very versatile scent. You're going to see a lot more of this as we move into the warmer months. But great value for what you get. That is Burberry Touch. All right, that's my list. Thank you so much for checking it out. I would love to know if you've checked any of these fragrances out, and what would be your top fragrance cheapie. Something under 50 bucks, under 30 bucks, whatever it is, your go-to fragrance that is cheap, but you find has good quality, good performance, just makes you happy when you smell it, gets you good results, whatever it may be. Let me know what your favorite one is. Would love to hear from you. If you like the video, you know what to do. Like the video, helps me out. Would love to have you back. If you haven't subscribed, it's free, it's easy. That's the best combo in the world. Go ahead and hit the button, and I'll see you back next week with another video. Peace. See you in the next one.